Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long, and we have an unfamiliar face, but yet get familiar, because hopefully we'll have her back. Her name is Ashton Myers. She is the Library Director with St. Mary Parish Library. Prior to her taking over 2 years ago, you guys may remember Julie Vidas. She actually was the Library Director for some time, and since then, you have taken the helm and have been rocking and rolling. I will say that I have seen some changes come through. Now, let's kind of go back a little bit on the experience that you bring to this, because prior to your position as the Library Director, you were by trade an accountant.
Yes.
So how were you able to make that transition? How was it for you?
It was an easy transition. I was the accountant for St. Mary Parish Library. That's how I originally got into libraries. And I did a lot of assistant work for Julie, not just managing the books, but also helping to manage her and to manage all of the things that she did, because it's not an easy job.
Right.
So it was a simple transition.
Now, hearing that, not an easy job. Of course, I think many of us, when we think about the library, we think of books, but the library is so much more than books. Please, for those folks who haven't been to a library probably since high school, what is it about the library that makes it so magical?
It's not just books, it's not just checking out materials, it is a community service organization. So we provide programs to the community for everyone from ages 0 to 100. We have services at the library, printing, copying. You can come and use our patron computers for anything that you need to use it for. So we have a lot more to offer than just the books that are in the library. Of course, we do have a lot of books, though.
Yes. And speaking of those, a lot more to offer, and what I do know, and I've actually utilized it myself, those community partnerships. You mentioned the library as a community organization. What are some of those partnerships that you offer that the public may be missing out on?
So we have programs almost daily at any of our libraries. And some of them are done by our programming department, and some of them are done by other community organizations. So you might have Tesh Action coming and doing a medical program, or you may have
Registrar of Voters, right?
Registrar of Voters. They come and they help us get people registered to vote.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something. I mean, I may have something that comes up and say, you know what, I don't know where I could go to study, or I may want to host a very small event. Is the library a place for that? Can I rent a room?
You can. We have meeting rooms. They're typically rented out to other community organizations, but if just anybody wants to rent our meeting room, there is a small cost for $25 a day just to use it for whatever you need it to.
Okay. Now, since you've taken over 2 years ago, what is your vision for the library system?
Oh, I'd like for us to offer a lot more community service, a lot more services, and that our community is wanting from the library. People think that we just offer the books, but we have other programs, other services, other partnerships that we can, create and get into. And if I knew what the community, wanted, then I could.
You could actually look into that. So I'm gonna tell you. So for me, I'll just use an example for myself. Maybe medical. We're in an aging community, so partnering with community action or council on aging, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. So, but you want to hear those things.
I do.
Okay.
I want the community to reach out to me and let me know what more do you need from your library, because we want to provide that for you.
How do they do that?
Anybody can reach me by email. On our website, there is also the contact us page where it goes directly to me.
Okay. So again, she's open to it. She has an open door policy.
I do.
And like I said, I've actually, during the time that she and I have sat here, maybe 15 minutes ago, came up with something, and hopefully maybe we might be able to see something come to fruition from that.
Yes.
Awesome. Again, if you want to know more about what goes on the library, where can people find information online? Online,
they can go to our website at stmaryparishlibrary.org. Or if you come in person to any of our libraries, there's calendars and our newsletter, the Library Lanyap, is going to be on the circulation desk, and anybody can find out what we're doing.
I love that. And let me tell you one of the things I love about the Lanyap. In that, they have it in categories.
Yes.
For toddlers, for teenagers, and also for adults. So the library is from 2 to 92.
Yes.
Anybody in between. Let's talk a little bit about one of those events, and I think it's pretty well attended. Hopefully it gets more well attended. And I'll just kind of throw it out there, and that is about Ask a Lawyer. You can get lawyer advice.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can't get lawyers advice for free anywhere.
No.
So always keep a lookout for that, either online. You can check them out on Facebook, or actually pay attention to their line. Yeah. We're going to take a short break, but come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast with yours truly. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long, and we are here with the Library Director of St. Mary Parish Library System, Ashton Myers. Now, when I think about the library, I'm thinking everyone's whispering. No. Everyone's quiet. But that's not the case all the time.
Not anymore.
And you are just shaking your head like, no, no, no. And I know one of the things that you said that you are really keen on, and that is customer service.
Yes.
So what are some other things that, during your administration that you are changing and the different type of initiatives you're bringing forth?
Majority of the changes that we've made over the past 2 years have been more internal. So it's been balancing the budget in a different way so that we can provide better wages, better benefits for our employees, because they are the backbone of the library system.
And you know what? Again, when we think about the library, and you say, because when I they with me like, so I imagine that some days get a little harder than others. What keeps you motivated?
Just knowing that I can come back tomorrow and continue providing services to this community, because I love St. Mary.
Now, speaking of which, I mean, again, we talked about how, you have programs for the little ones and, of every age. Now, you have some little ones.
I do.
Do they also utilize
They do.
the
They
library?
love coming to the library. My 10-year-old doesn't really like to read, which what 10-year-old does,
right.
But they do love coming to the programs and using our different services, so they do.
Yep, whether they like it or not. Come on.
Whether they like it or not.
But you know what? They'll like it in the long run.
They will.
That's right. So kudos to you, Mom. Since stepping into the role, what has been your biggest challenge so far?
I would say learning my leadership style.
Okay.
Learning.
What does that look like?
I don't know.
You don't know? But are you comfortable in it?
Some days are more comfortable than others, but I don't know if I could put a word on it.
Okay. And what would you say your staff, how have they become acclimated to you?
I think that we have a staff that is motivated. They're rock stars. Like I said, they are the backbone of this library system. They're the ones that are patron facing. They're the ones that come in every day and do the things, and I would not be right here without them.
So your leadership style sounds like you lead from the back.
I do.
You're not necessarily always up front.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So we're cultivating that right now.
There we go.
We're starting to see what it actually is. I just wanted to know about the library staff itself. I know, like you said, they're rock stars. I've been in there. I'm gonna tell you, they have really helped me in some cases. So it's beyond just, let me help you find a book. You're training your staff to do a lot more than look up microfilm, and the card catalog. They're getting much more extensive training. The State Library of Louisiana provides training for how to use our databases to do everyday tasks, not just academic research, but how can we do better research to help people every day in what they need to do, whether it's applying for welfare benefits or just coming into the library to find a book. No, I guarantee, I don't think many people would know that, especially applying for those type of social services. So the librarians that we see today and the tech staff, they are doing a lot more than what many people believe the library is for.
Absolutely.
The library is free.
It is.
And utilizing, especially your property owner, you're paying taxes. So utilize the library, get involved. And you mentioned one of the things, you want to see more community.
Yes.
How do you sell the library to the community?
It's a community service organization. We're providing that service that they can't.
That they need. So I think they just need to be a little more vigilant and diligent to take advantage of it. So I think that's just what, we're doing this so that people can understand that there is much more that the library can do. You guys stay with us. We'll be right back with more right here on The Voice of the Coast with Danica Long. That's me. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I am the host, excuse me. My guest is Ashton Myers. Kind of got all these things running in my head about the library because I think a lot of people are missing out on what the library really can do. So who utilizes the library the most?
Our babies and toddlers.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Okay, and who utilizes it the least?
The teens.
That kind of makes sense because they're too cool for school anyway.
There
so
you go.
The library, to them, I'm sure it's like an extension of that. But you don't agree with that the library is much more than just this. It's a structured environment, but there's fun that can be had.
Absolutely.
What are some of the teenage programs you have right now in place?
One of the teen programs that we have, mostly for fun, would be the Dungeons and Dragons Club that meets in Franklin. And our dungeon master, Michael, is he's great. He puts on a great program.
Okay.
And we also offer ACT prep for students. So a couple times a year we have tutors that come out and help our kids prepare for the ACT.
Yeah. And what I like best what you said is, look, I'm open. So what is it you want? And, that's within, the library means that would actually get you to utilize the library more often. So we have toddlers, obviously, that use it, our older adults, and even some of the mid-adults because they're bringing their teens. Their children. It's just the teens and capturing their attention.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so focused on those phones.
Yes.
So you might have to have something that kind of, a little social media driven.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, how do you balance innovation with the traditional style of library?
Well, one of the ways that we've done that is by offering the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program. So the traditional role of libraries is books, and we've innovated that by bringing this program through foundations and donors. That this program mails books to children to their house, ages 0 to 5.
Yeah, I have heard about that. And is that something that's all year long?
It is all year long. It is a monthly program. Once you get signed up, it's about a 12-week lead time to get your first set of books mailed, but then it's every month until your 5th birthday.
Okay. Now, coming up in the month of May, you actually have something else that's planned.
We do. At the Franklin Library, we'll be having a traveling exhibit called the Past Responses to Mental Health. That's going to focus on how previous responses have kind of shaped how we respond to mental health crises today.
Okay, so a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yes. So again, if they want this, if you build it, they will come.
Yes.
So but in order to build it, you have to know what it is that's missing from the library. And I'm just happy that you're open to suggestions. Now, after May, we're right into the summertime.
Yep.
And I know you're going to be really pretty much inundated with a lot of children during that time. But also, there's a competition that I need to stick on. I started and I stopped. There's a kind of a competition, a reading competition about, I think, the number of books you read or the number of words you read. Tell me a little bit about that. Hours? Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
So we have the summer reading program, and it's no longer a competition. So we did change it up a little bit last year to where if you complete your 600 minutes of reading, then you get put into a raffle to win a prize at each branch.
I had my eye on that. I think it was a couple of gift certificates.
We had some gift certificates, some Kindles.
Yes, yeah. So they're really good prizes. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe I should be gatekeeping.
Maybe so.
But I think it gives you guys, folks to realize that, yes, I need to start utilizing the library a lot more because, again, you can be rewarded for doing good things at the library. Give us one more time where we can find more about the library. At our website at stmaryparishlibrary.org. And also on Facebook, correct? And on Facebook. We are on Facebook. Let's talk about while we have a little time, the apps. What are the apps that are still around? Because I think one of the apps is Hoopla. It's no longer.
Oh no, we still have Hoopla.
You still have Hoopla? Okay, and Libby?
No, Libby went
That's
away.
Libby.
So we
Okay.
switched to Cloud Library.
Okay.
We're part of the Bayouland Consortia, which is a group of libraries around Iberia and Lafayette, and St. Mary's a part of that. And so we decided as a group to switch to Cloud Library, which offers a wider variety of books and audiobooks that we can offer.
Okay, awesome. All right, audiobooks. That's a good, that's another thing. So instead of just the physical books, we've got one more segment, but come on back right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast, and this is our last segment. Actually, I want to give credit to Sunny Iverson, who is our director, who actually gave me this next question because I was unfamiliar with this. But movies, of course, you know, I don't even think there's a red box anymore. But there's a red box at the library.
There is.
And he mentioned that you guys used to do free movie rentals. Is that still something that goes on?
We do. We have a huge collection of DVDs that can be checked out.
Okay, especially in a world of streaming videos, and a lot of folks, I mean, some of our older individuals have not let go of those DVD players, so they still have it, so you can still just, you know, get those movies and watch them, so that's great. Now, something else that I'm very shocked to hear, you hear about DoorDash and Uber and all those different things where you can get your groceries delivered, you can get your food delivered. Now you can get books delivered.
You can.
Come on.
You can. So earlier last year, we launched the homebound delivery program within the library. So if you just submit an application, it gets sent to our courier, Charlene, who delivers books to anybody who is homebound for any reason, whether you're elderly or sick or just had a baby and you can't get out. Every other week, we'll deliver books to you, pick them back up, and
as much as I want to gatekeep that, I'm just going to have to share with everybody else. Also, free books.
Yes,
you can pick
we
up
have the
free
free
books
books.
and actually take them home, and you don't have to bring them back because you take them out of circulation?
We do. So we periodically weed books out of our collection because there's only so much shelf space that you have. So we take out any books that are just not circulating regularly anymore, discard those, and anybody can come pick those up for free.
I love it. Now, you mentioned about Cloud Library, and I remember also utilizing one of the former apps. I don't think it's around anymore, but you can also look at magazines.
Yes.
So if you're someone like myself, look, I'll look at all the HGTV and home decor, Cosmopolitan, Oprah, all those magazines that at least I remember, Essence and Ebony, I remember growing up on. You can actually look at those online as well.
You can. You can look at them on the Cloud Library app, and that was one of the selling points for switching to Cloud Library is that now, before with Flipster, we had to choose which magazines, and now they all come with Cloud Library.
Come on. And also you still have physical magazines.
And we still have physical magazines within the branches that can be checked out.
So I wasn't really here to convince you. I just wanted to know more about it. But if you haven't been convinced to go to the library, you are missing out big time. And we have all the libraries pretty much on one system except one, and that is Morgan City.
Morgan City. Morgan City is a municipal library. They are ran by the city of Morgan City.
Okay, but Berwick is there.
Yes.
And also, I mean, look, still utilize Morgan City. Let's just say that. Go to Morgan City. Libraries are great.
They're
great places. And also, can you look at newspapers?
You can.
Something else.
You can. We subscribe to the Banner Tribune at all of our libraries.
And what about national magazines, newspapers?
To access the national newspapers, we have an app called Newsbank.
Okay.
So it's online, but you can find any of the national newspapers.
You know, I remember growing up with an encyclopedia. The days are now gone.
We do still have those.
Oh, wow. What was it? Britannica was one. Yeah, my husband and I actually just talked about that recently. And he actually quoted something. I said, babe, that's before my time. So, you know, but I do recall encyclopedias. I believe when I was in school, I actually had to utilize an encyclopedia, but there's now so much greater access at our fingertips, and you can utilize the library. And actually, if you don't know how to use it, you have additional help at the library. And I love the fact that there's a lot of things that we just don't know. You know, I know the kids they're born with these iPads, but for us folks who are, you know, of a different generation, we still need a little additional help, but we're trying to get the teens in. And I think
Absolutely.
getting them in to send you an email and say, hey, what about this? You know, and seeing if it's something that you can actually work out.
And that's just the first step, is getting them into the libraries and creating lifelong library users.
Awesome, I love it. With that said, one more time, let us know how we can find you, where they can get information about the library.
So we're on Facebook, or you can find all of our information at stmaryparishlibrary.org.
How do I get my hand on the Lanyap, the actual physical newsletter?
You can come into the libraries. You'll have one on every circulation desk, or you can print it online.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Ashton Myers. She is the Library Director for St. Mary Parish Library System. I am Danica Long. Make sure to subscribe to us on Facebook. We are KWBJ TV 22, and we'll see you guys next time, so come on back.